Yo, what's good, y'all? Doobie here. Today we're gonna be drawing a character based off of Wolverine and turning it into a t-shirt design. So to start off, I use references. I usually get them from Pinterest or Google for the most part. I find that using references usually works, and I use the fighting reference for this. I usually don't come up with the poses or the illustration idea directly from my head. I might remix what I see, but for the most part, I always use references because it's a lot more helpful for any artist. Speaking of what else is helpful for artists, I really want to speak about something that changed the course of my art career forever. Now, as artists, you and I both know that you can spend hours and days on one piece because, like they say, art is never fully finished, right? But for the most part, I found that this one rule that I started to apply to all of my drawings made the biggest difference. Now, this one rule that I'm talking about is called done is better than perfect. I used to spend so much time on each individual art piece. I used to spend hours trying different sketches out. I used to spend hours inking. I used to spend hours coloring, all type of stuff. I even used to spend a long time trying to pick out what I'm about to draw. Now, over time, as the years went by, I started to realize that I got a lot less work done, and I was thinking and dwelling and writing down a lot of notes and stuff like that. Now, the reason why this happens to a lot of artists is because they have perfectionism. They want the artwork to come out perfect, and they want everything to look really good. They want the rollout to be good, and they want for when they post it on social media to get a whole bunch of likes and all that good stuff. But to be honest with you, I found that to be a freaking huge waste of time. Like, the amount of time that you spent dwelling and thinking about if this is going to be the right one, the amount of time that you spent trying to perfect that one art piece, you could have spent on even more. And personally, this is where I believe quantity over quality comes in. Obviously, you don't want your artwork to be trash, but if you could practice on putting out as much work as possible and consistently pumping them out, trying different art techniques and learning different things, getting feedback from other people, in my personal opinion and from my personal experience, you get a lot more done. And on top of that, people love to see the growth. People actually, from my experience, would rock with you even more, and they'll like you and your brand and your art even more. Everybody likes to see progression at the end of the day. Now, if you're like how I was and found that part even hard, just to stop or to try to get the artwork done as quick as possible so you can start working on the next one, I got a few tips as to how you can get better at this. So tip number one, the first thing I would suggest to do is to let go of ego. Nothing in this world is perfect and will never be perfect but God. So the moment you let go of that ego and realize, like, look, the more I try and the more I put out, the better I'm gonna get eventually, that's honestly gonna give you the best mindset to go in and actually get better over time. Tip number two is the time block. What do I mean by time block? Well, I mean, you set a specific time, start to finish, as to when you're gonna start doing some art, and then you're gonna end at the time that you say you're gonna end. Now, when that timer ends, what you're gonna do is you're gonna look at your art piece and you're gonna probably think to yourself like, man, this junk sucks. But that's okay, because now what you're gonna do is you're gonna look at what you can do to make the artwork finished. Not look perfect, but just finished. Whether it's missing this color, whether it's missing a few strokes, whether the arm is missing, just go ahead and finish that one last part and then be done with the artwork and put it out. Get feedback, see what people think, and on top of that, you already could have room to work on your next piece. Now, granted, I understand these tips aren't gonna work for everybody, but if you are like me and you personally feel like you spend too much time on your artwork and you want to get better faster and quicker and you want to put out more work on a consistent basis, then I think these tips are going to be super helpful. And finally, for tip number three, I'm going to go ahead and say always use a reference picture. Now, the mistake a lot of people make is they copy directly off of the reference picture and they make it exactly to the T how it looks in the reference. That's not what I'm saying you should do. What I'm saying is use a reference picture as an example of something that you want to draw, and then kind of see how the other person drew it, or kind of see how you can mimic that thing and remix it into your own drawing. And those are my personal tips on how to get better faster and how to put work out more on a consistent basis. By the way, now with this illustration that I just drew, what you're seeing me do is I'm turning it into a t-shirt design. I'm a big fan of how this illustration came out and this t-shirt design came out. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the t-shirt design, by the way. Anyways, this right here is the final piece. This is the t-shirt design and this is the final illustration. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'm out. Peace.